Welcome back, data leaders and big data learners. We have completed the downloading of the various executables in the last video, and we are going to start working on HDFS installation and Yarn configuration in this video. So without further ado, let us go to the terminal and start the process. So in the terminal, we are going to start working on. We need to first of all understand a couple of files in the Git repo that we cloned in the last video. So first and foremost, we have to look at the EMR EC2 files inside the EMR practice. That is the EMR instance practice is the Git folder that we cloned from the repo from outside GitHub, and then inside that folder there is a folder called as EC2 EMR files. Inside that folder again, there is a file called as BYOB, that is build your own big data cluster underscore deploy.sh. I am going to use head and show you only the part of the file. So this file has all the necessary steps that you need to take in order to complete the big data cluster installation. All the necessary steps are there. Okay, there are certain steps which is missing in this. I will be explaining what is going on there. What will happen is that there are certain steps, if you don't, all the steps are not exactly same for all the environments. Okay, so we have to explain that, or else I would just give the script and you could run it, right? But this is not same for all the environments. So we will go through this process step by step and complete the installation. Okay. So without further delay, let us start the process. We are going to go step by step. So this first step actually tells you that unzip the Hadoop 3.3.0 tar file that we got. So we have the tar 3.3.0 file that we have got. So we are going to say tar. So some of the path will be wrong. So don't worry about that. Just follow the actual process only. Don't exactly follow the command there, because as I was telling you, each and every system has different environment. So it cannot work as a script. Don't try to run it as a script. It will not work also. It will error out because there will not be certain folders available. Hadoop 3.3.0 and just execute this. It will actually extract the extract to Hadoop 3.3.0 folder. So if you do an ls right now, you will see that there is Hadoop 3.3.0 folder newly. Okay, previously it was not there, now it is there. Next, don't remove this software till we have completed this entire installation. Okay, that is there as a process, so don't remove that. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to say sudo move. I am going to move this Hadoop 3.3.0 folder to opt. Opt is the folder inside the Linux file system where we can keep all the application softwares. So just moving it will actually move it there. Next step, what we are going to do is okay, so if it doesn't move, then use force. Okay, use F switch if it doesn't move. Then what we are going to do is we are going to own. So once it moved into opt folder, you need to give the owner the permission, because once you move it in the opt folder, the permission of this folder will be still root. That is why you have to change the ownership. So we are going to say sudo chown, and if you are new to Linux, then this is basically an alias that we are using. This is basically a shell variable when we are using the dollar symbol, right? It's a shell variable that can be read appropriately by the bash shell. So don't worry about that. We are recursively going to own the folder. So opt Hadoop, and it gets owned. So now if you check the ownership, you will see that the ownership of this particular folder, Hadoop folder, is Ubuntu, because the user right now is Ubuntu, right? And then we are going to create a soft link. So sudo, why we are going to create a soft link? Because the file name, the folder name is very unwieldy. So Hadoop -3.3.0 is very unwieldy. But we still need to maintain the folder name also, because configuration files all refer to this folder. So it's kind of a tricky thing, right? That is where they found the alternate. So Hadoop, and I am going to say Hadoop is the Hadoop is the link that I'm going to create. So if you look under opt right now, so for an example, if I look under opt, if I do a list directory under opt, you'll see that there will be Hadoop also, and there will be this green Hadoop folder. So whatever I do in this folder will get reflected here also. It's a soft link basically. Just I'm giving a different name. Then next what I'm going to do is if you see, this is the important step. Okay, I'm going to copy. There has to be a folder called as configs, but in our case there will be a folder called as cluster configs. So this cluster configs actually comes from EMR instance practice. Okay, what you need to do is you have to first of all cp EMR. If you do this and if you do cluster config, there will be cluster config folder inside that. Just copy that into your home directory, this home directory. So then you will have the cluster configs in the home directory. Since we are working everything from the home directory, I have already copied it to my home directory. Okay. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to copy. So if you scroll up, we are going to copy inside the cluster config file. There will be opt Hadoop. This is a tree. This is a file tree actually. So let us first copy that. Okay. Let us do this cp rf cluster config, and you can see that. So opt is already there. So I'm just tabbing the key. So Hadoop, once I say HA and press tab, the Hadoop folder actually populates. Inside that there is etc, and inside the etc there is Hadoop. Okay, and same way you saw that we have Hadoop in this area under opt. So what will happen now? If you see opt, this opt is this opt. Okay, this is in Ubuntu Linux server, and there if you see there will be again Hadoop, etc and Hadoop again. So whatever files are there in this folder, okay, I made a mistake here, just a minute, I need to copy all the files there. So you have to copy all the files, right? See, these are the challenges you need to be aware of. So you have to copy all the files there and you have to paste it here. So it have got pasted, and I have actually forced it, or else there will be a couple of questions that comes. Okay, now what I exactly did. So let me show you right now. Let me actually remove this and let me do a ls on this, so that you will understand what I exactly did. This is where I told that, see, there are 5 different files here. All these files got copied to this location. Now you might be wondering, okay, what is there in this location? So let us do that also. When you actually explore the Linux file system like this, it becomes more of a game rather than work, right? So here if you see that, okay, there are lots of files here. What we did was, these are the important files to which we need to modify the configuration. Okay, that is the actual activity we have to do each and every file step by step. However, we had taken a shortcut. So we had bypassed all the files opening, all the files editing, and we just copied all the files. This is actually not the right way to do. However, when you are working on a regular in an environment that is common, so Ubuntu Linux and inside the cloud, this is common, and we are going to use 22.04, that is common. So in that case, whatever we are doing will be also common. That is how this particular step I had logically decided. However, you need to understand what is there inside each of this file. Okay, I'm not going to leave you that way, right? So if I am going to say core_site, open it. If you do core_, oh, okay, it's not working because I am not in the file. I'm not in the folder where I am working. So where the file is. So let us see cat. And if I say core_site, I'm just opening the file, and you'll see that this is the HDFS configuration that I had created. This has been updated. By default, this configuration will not be there. This was updated after we copied these files from the cluster configs folder. Okay, the same way, if you do a cat on this file, Hadoop environmental.sh. Okay, that is a mistake. So if I do that, you'll see that there are export options that is being done, so where the Java home is getting exported. And the same way, if you do the HDFS site, MapRed site, Yarn site, MapRed and Yarn site are linked with Yarn Yarn installation. HDFS site is linked with HDFS and Hadoop and Core. All these are linked with Hadoop installation. Okay, so these are two configuration files that we are going to work with. After we have done the installation, after the configuration is proper, what we are going to do is we are going to use the let me show you that. Just a minute. So I will have to, because it is already there in the steps, right? I'm going to just open the step so that you can easily understand. So rather than doing this, I can actually open it by typing EC2 and BYOB. Yeah, so we see that we have already copied this. Now the next step is we have to copy this config file. So just bear with me, we will complete this and we will see how the things work. So what we are doing is that we are going to copy -f. So -f from cluster configs, we are going to copy the profile file and we are going to move it to home. Basically, we can actually press a dot here. So we are already in home, right? But still, I am going to continue that so that you will understand that what is going on. Okay, so this file has also got copied. This actually is not required. Okay, and you will see that now if I do the name node format, if I execute this particular command, so what I'm going to do is, you might be thinking, okay, how will this work? Okay, so if I use opt Hadoop and bin HDFS, okay, this is actually a command. So this is an application actually, and you can do a help also. You will see that it gives the help. So this is the HDFS file help that is given, and what is the activity that you are going to do again. So let me head this. So what we are going to do is we are going to create the name node and we are going to format it. You might be wondering, what is this going to format? Where is this going to format? If you are not asking this question, then you are in deep trouble. Okay, so why, I will tell you. So where is this going to format? You need to understand that, right? So let us actually find it out. That answer is available inside the configs file. So if you do, if you actually do a cat config cluster config, cat cluster config cluster configs opt Hadoop etc Hadoop, and inside that we have core site. So core site actually gives you the HDFS default location, right? Then we have HDFS site. So HDFS site actually has the important configurations also. So let us look at the HDFS site. If you look at the HDFS site, you see that we are actually giving the name location, HDFS opt Hadoop DFS name, and we are giving the name secondary. Okay, and then this is the place where the actual format will happen. So Hadoop opt Hadoop DFS data. So this is the place where the actual the format that we are going to execute, right, will happen. So if you are curious, and the DFS replication will be 1 because there is going to be single node. Why I am showing this? If you are going to go into the future for double node, then you should know what you are going to do, right? And next, so what is there in MapRed and the other two files, as I was telling you, that is related to Yarn. So you don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, we are ready to actually start the HDFS file right now. Before that, I just want to confirm one thing. Head EMR EC2 and BYOB. Okay, and okay, so we have to use, I also want to show what is there inside the opt file, opt Hadoop bin, just for you guys to see what other things are there inside the bin folder, because we'll be using that again. So we not only have HDFS, we have other things also. We have Yarn, we have MapRed, but all these are actual containers, actual what is it called, executors. But the shell scripts are inside the SBin. So if you look at the SBin, this SBin has the start dfs.sh, stop dfs, it has stop yarn and start yarn. Where is start yarn? Yeah, here. All these are here. Okay. And if you look at the, because I am actually trying to provide you all these links so that you will understand what is going on. And if you look at here in the profile, I am actually giving the Hadoop home as opt Hadoop that we set up right now. And I am exporting this path from a Hadoop home bin and Hadoop home SBin, the place where I showed you right now. Correct? You remember? Opt Hadoop is the home, Hadoop home is this, and I am going to export bin and SBin as environmental path. So once I execute this, it should work properly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, just give me a moment. So the actual activity has been completed. Okay. And now you are wondering, okay, will actually the actual process, did it complete? Did we get whatever we want? And how will you know? So here you see this particular location, if you go, has been successfully formatted. You see this particular link. So if you go there, you will see that there is a, wait a minute, let us actually see. Yeah, you will see that there is a folder. Okay. And inside the folder, so this particular folder is where actual the formatting is completed. Okay, and you will find you will start using this, then you will understand how these things work once we start experimenting with the DFS command. So right now, don't worry about validating this. We will be taking a separate step for validating. As of now, we have completed the first step of actually installing Hadoop file system. So this file system has been installed right now. Now we need to configure Yarn. Yarn is already done. So actually we don't need to do anything else because we already copied the config file. What you can do is, now you can check the JPS. By using JPS, you will know that whether any of the name nodes or Hadoop nodes are working or not. Okay. Now if I actually, since I have to exit out of this particular Ubuntu SSH connection and enter back. So I'm going to exit now. Okay, so that the profile gets the profile files that we changed gets read and the environmental variables gets registered. So now if I enter back in, okay, and hopefully it will not, yeah. Now if I actually check the path, you'll see that all this Hadoop has been opt Hadoop bin, all this has been registered. So Spark 3, all this has been registered. Okay. Now if I do JPS, you'll see that nothing is running. JPS is the way of checking whether the Hadoop clusters have started. So in order to start the Hadoop file system, you have to say start DFS. Okay. This is okay. Now, this is the place where you will need the, what is it called? The passwordless login. This particular scripts will actually take a login of Ubuntu without actually password of your user, whichever user you are using. It will do a login by itself. If that login fails, then this file will fail also. This script will fail also. So let us execute this and you'll see that my name nodes are starting on localhost. So this localhost is actually doing an SSH, starting data nodes and then starting secondary nodes, and it is giving the IP address. So warning, permanently added. So this has been added to, you see this SSH has happened actually, permanently added to the list of known hosts. So this is what I was telling. And if this does not happen, then your HDFS has not been installed properly, your configuration has not been done properly. Next, we have to execute start yarn. Okay, so I looked the JPS, you saw that secondary name node and name node has got started. Now the question, you might be having lots of questions. What is data node? What is secondary name node? What is name node? All this are linked to the cluster that we are creating right now. We are right now creating a single node cluster, and this single node cluster will have separate purpose. Okay, but in our case, we are going to have only one cluster, which is going to be the worker and which is also going to be the manager also. Both are going to be single node, so we don't need to worry about these things that much. However, as you go on to build multiple clusters, you need to understand each and every term that is given here. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to start the yarn. Okay, so if I start yarn, so it is starting the resource manager and it is starting the node managers, and then it will come out. It will say that it is done. It will not give you yes or no anything. But if you do JPS, you will see that the additional managers have started. So once you do this JPS, you should be able to get all these things. Then only you can say that, okay, my HDFS file system has been installed right now. So what has happened is, if you let us go to the presentation once again. In the presentation, I had this particular area has been completed right now. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to work on Hive and Spark. So there we will have certain challenges, but you will see how to resolve it. It will be easy because you have set up this basic step already, so this should be easy right now. That is one of the challenges that I faced when I started. So I will tell you what challenges I faced and then how it was resolved. So it took a lot of research also. We have got the Hadoop file system. Now we will get the Hive and Spark, and then we will see how to link it using PySpark and Spark. So we will do this activity step by step. Till then, guys, practice these steps, okay, whichever has been told, and ensure that you get all the necessary output that you saw here. Okay, and then only you have to go to the next step. Till then, try to practice. If you are making mistakes, I had lot of mistakes. I have done a lot of mistakes myself, and then only I came to this level, and still I have to learn a lot of things. You should also try this at your leisure and practice. So that is the reason why I wanted to also share this. Do subscribe to this video series, so that video series as well as this channel. And once I upload new content, you will be able to get the update on your YouTube dashboard. Till the next video, stay tuned and practice, 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 practice.